And welcome to a new episode of The Simpsons Did It. I'm your host, Steven Skolansky.
And I'm your co-host, Robert Skolansky.
And this week, we're going to get a new pet.
Ooh, can we get a lion?
Ooh, or a tiger?
Or a bear?
Oh, my.
That, funny enough, we did not rehearse that.
No, we did not. Thanks for telling everyone.
But we're going to get something exotic, I think.
Yeah, but not a tiger.
No, something bigger.
If you could have any exotic animal, what would it be?
Penguin. Penguin.
That'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
I'm still angry at your wedding not having a penguin.
Yeah. I think a penguin would have been nice. I mean, I personally think Lynx is kind of cool. He's a little bit bigger than a cat.
Yeah.
But he seems very playful. They seem very playful animals.
I mean, you kind of have a couple of exotic pets, sort of, but not really.
I have a Russian tortoise.
Boo.
And that's not how that works. And the fish.
Yeah.
I mean, the fish are kind of exotic, just depending on which ones. Like, we've had a few, like, gourami is probably the most exotic fish in our tank. The other ones, the platy and the swordtail, and I think we have one other one. Those are more common fish. But the gouramis, those are more exotic type fish.
Okay.
But this week, we're going to be talking about Season 5, Episode 17, Bart Gets an Elephant.
Where's my elephant?
Oh, they're playing that elephant song again. But this air date is March 31st, 1994.
We're almost done with Season 5.
Almost done with Season 5. And you know what that even means? We're on Episode 98.
Ooh.
Right? 97 or 98? 98.
Do you know how to do math?
I know sort of math. 199. 98. We're on 98.
Yep,
so
98.
2 more episodes to episode 100, and then we'll have a party.
To be fair, I kind of wish 99 was episode 100.
What?
It's Burns' Air.
Yeah.
Such a good episode.
It is, but number 100 is a pretty good episode.
I mean, they're all really good.
Yeah.
So we got 5 episodes left, 4 episodes left after this one. 4.
Yep. So we're almost done with Season 5, guys, man. It always seems like these seasons just go by so fast.
Well, when you're watching good television.
Yeah, it always seems to go fast.
Yeah.
So recap, when Bart wins an elephant that is ill-behaved and uncontrollable, the other pets feel neglected.
Okay, once again, as I stated in the last episode.
No, this is a good recap. Recap. So Bart wins the elephant, it's ill-behaved and uncontrollable, and the other pets feel neglected. There's only like
a couple scenes.
That's a damn good recap that doesn't give away a lot of information. Recaps shouldn't give away a lot of information because otherwise, why watch the episode? You can just read all the recaps and know exactly what's going on.
Well, I already know what's going on. Bart wins an elephant.
God damn these titles. They always make it so on the nose.
Yeah.
So chalkboard gag this week.
Oh boy.
Organ transplants are best left to the professionals.
I mean, that's true.
Was Bart trying to swap out someone's liver?
Maybe get a new kidney?
New kidney? Yeah, beat up Nelson, get a new kidney.
Yeah.
Now, I know doesn't Homer give a kidney to Grandpa at some point?
I believe so, yes.
So, was it left up to the professionals, or was this another Dr. Nick thing?
I feel like it was probably another Dr. Nick thing.
I feel like Bart was like, "Oh, Dr. Nick can do it. I can do it too."
Yeah.
Probably saw it on TV.
Yeah.
Finally, our couch gag. The lights are out as 5 pairs of eyes enter. The lights turn on, revealing only eyes. And the eyeless family rushes in, sits down, reconnecting with their eyes. And it's just another repeat from Boy Scouts in the Hood.
Yes. Well, I feel like half the episodes had new couch gags and the other half were repeats this season.
Yeah, and you know what's another funny thing is the intros haven't been the full-on intros.
No.
Now, God, it's like, I don't know if they ever changed it for TV airing or did other things based on like commercial lengths and stuff like that. But all these old seasons, I felt like they ran the entire intro majority of the time.
Mandela effect.
No, that's just me thinking they ran the thing multiple times.
Yeah, that's the Mandela effect. You thought one thing, but it was actually a different thing.
No, that's when Curious George doesn't have a tail or does have a tail. That's two groups thinking different things. This is me just thinking I thought there were more intros all the time.
No, you were wrong.
Yes.
So this episode starts with, Marge waking up, walking down the stairs, only to step on a sandwich.
Because those are best left on the stairs.
I feel like that's got to be a mistake. Homer would never leave food uneaten.
Yeah, maybe it was Bart or Lisa. Possibly Maggie.
Also, there's underpants on the railing,
yes.
Which gross. And so we kind of get, I don't know if you'd consider this an animation error or not. So when Marge is walking down the stairs, she's obviously barefoot. But when she gets to the kitchen, she's wearing slippers.
The only thing I can think of is she keeps her slippers at the door with all the other shoes. Because when they walk in the front door, there's that stack of shoes and stuff right by the front door.
But they don't have that in the Simpsons house.
Don't they?
No.
Oh, I know there's an umbrella rack.
Maybe there's that, but I've never seen like shoes by the door. And like, I understand people leaving shoes by their door. I do it all the time, obviously, because it's easier just to put the shoes on and then walk out. But like, I feel like if you're wearing slippers, you're going to keep them in your room.
Or Marge is exactly like me. I can't wear slippers down some stairs. Well, my Deadpool slippers, because they have no back. And I've slipped and broken my finger because my slipper fell off my foot. And so...
Where did you learn to walk?
Well, it's the slippers, man.
Slippers. This is the slippers.
So maybe Marge is like, you know what? I'm going to walk down the stairs, put my slippers on at the bottom of the stairs. It's much safer than using them on the stairs.
Maybe. So then so the house is just a complete mess. She walks into the kitchen. She opens up the fridge. And what do we see in the fridge? The bowling ball that Homer got Marge that says Homer on it.
Okay. Now this was a gift for Marge.
Yes.
She uses it.
Yes.
Right? So maybe she forgot she put it in the fridge. Because I don't think Homer uses the Homer ball.
I don't know. Why would you put it in the fridge, though?
Exactly. I think Marge was drunk and put it in the fridge. She didn't realize it.
And also there's more underpants in the refrigerator.
Yes, more underpants in the refrigerator.
So, the kids come down for breakfast and they're like, hi, Mom. And Homer runs in. He goes, hi, Mom. And Marge is annoyed.
You're not going to mention what else was around the house?
No, I didn't really look at what else was. It was a mess, man.
Yes. So in the Simpsons house, clutter and filth includes pizza and footprints on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Splattered eggs on the walls. There's the sandwich on the staircase, Homer's bowling ball in the fridge, and underpants on the banister and in the refrigerator. So there's a few other things.
Yeah. So yeah, I like how Homer's like, hi, Mom. And Marge's like, I'm not your mother. That kind of reminded me of our parents, only because our mother likes to complain that she takes care of our dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, eh. So then, they're like, oh, what are we going to do today? So
Bart's like, after breakfast, me and Milhouse are going down to the ravine. We got a tip from a 6-year-old that there's a dead Martian down there. And Lisa's like, I'm going to the park to jam with the Little White Girls Blues Quartet. See, that's, I don't know if that's more PC these days, but.
What?
White Girls Blues Quartet.
Oh, yeah. I didn't catch that one. Yep. Yeah. I think if they had said the girls'
white,
blues.
They're yellow.
Yeah.
Come on.
Maybe their dresses are white.
Maybe. And she's like, want to come with me, Daddy-O? And Homer's like, I love to, honey, but Daddy has to go to a beer drinking contest today. And Bart's like, think you'll win? Homer's like, son, when you participate in sporting events, it's not whether you win or lose. It's how drunk you get.
Oh, God. Have you ever, okay, this is a really dumb question, but have you ever done beer pong, obviously?
Yeah, beer. A lot of beer drinking events.
Yeah. Bart will understand when he gets older.
Yeah. Yeah, I think although when I was playing to win, not really getting drunk. I wanted to win. Like
Yeah.
I feel like winning was more on my priority list than getting drunk.
To be fair, I think that was mine too. Now, a buddy of mine and I, we actually joined a beer pong league at our bar, and we
You were
did. And we
trying to lose, like the whole
no,
point
we
was
were
to
we were
lose.
trying to win because winners got. I don't think we.
More
I don't think.
beer.
Yeah, well, we got free alcohol. And I think we ended up taking second, so we got like $50 for like beer.
$50. I wanted more beer.
Yeah.
Money
So,
to be sent for more beer.
Yeah, so Homer, Lisa, and Bart are getting ready to leave, and they're about to walk out the door, and Marge is standing there to stop them, and Bart's like, "Mom, it's hard to leave when you're blocking the exit," and Homer's like, "Knock her over, boy."
No, push her down, son.
So-
All cheery. Like, dude, what are you doing? Just push her down.
And so, yeah, I feel like if I tried to do that to our mom, I'd probably get murdered.
Yeah.
And so Marge is like, "Today we're cleaning the house from top to bottom," and obviously everybody's like, "No!" And Bart like, I love the shot because we get like the overhead shot of the rooms,
Yeah.
and like Bart like tries to run out the back door, but the door is locked, and Marge is like, "I think you'll find escape impossible." And it's like, "All right, everyone, pick a floor." And Homer's like, "I'll take the basement." And like, "All right, take the basement." Like nobody has an issue with it because he's like, "Dough?" And then he opens the door to the basement. Dough! Because it like, there's a shit everywhere.
Dude, I'm really surprised we did not get. So I know in the future we get shots of like old Simpson like stuff like that we've seen in past.
We got a
episodes.
shot.
No, of like past stuff from past episodes.
Yeah, we got a shot from a past episode.
What was it?
Olmec.
Oh, well, Olmec was down there?
Yeah.
I was looking for Olmec. I must have just overlooked him.
Yeah. I mean, he was a different color.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah, but that was Olmec.
Okay. I must have, yeah, I didn't even put two and two together on that one.
Yeah.
But-
So then we cut back upstairs, and well, we don't see it in this scene. We see it in a different scene. So Bart is like, scrubbing off the coffee table, and he's like, "I'm tired. I'm hungry. Can't we just buy a new house?"
I mean, that would be easier.
It would be. It would
I mean,
be very much.
the way the Simpsons house is, it would probably be easier just to buy a new one.
Yeah.
So Marge tells Bart that cleaning doesn't have to be a chore, and then turns on the radio. Which I'll tell you, during a lot of breaks between like lunch, dinner, stuff like that, and I'm cleaning,
Yeah.
I definitely want music going.
Oh, for sure.
Music definitely makes cleaning so much easier because I'm singing along, forgetting about it, and by the time you're done, it's clean.
Yep.
But the song playing on the radio is 16 Tons by Tennessee Ernie Ford.
Never heard of him.
Nope. But I think I've heard this song before. The song sounded familiar. So Homer finds a leaf blower because that's exactly what you use to clean.
Yeah.
And is able to create a tornado in the basement by blowing the leaves. I mean, it's probably a gas-powered, leaf blower. And yes, we do see Olmec in the background, but he is a different color, so that's kind of weird. And as the tornado dies down, Homer's like, "All done." And he's like, "No, you're not." It's like, he's like, "What?" I was like, Marge's like, "You got to throw away all those old calendars and TV guides. Are you mad, woman?" And then he's like, "You can't throw this stuff away. Sure, it's not 1985 right now, but who knows what tomorrow will bring."
Not 1985.
No, but fun fact, calendars will eventually roll over.
Repeat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So instead of buying a new calendar in, 2153, you might actually already have a calendar that matches those dates.
Now, but here's a problem with your theory. Leap year.
Yeah, that might be the only problem.
Because, well, yes, okay, yeah, you're probably going to get a calendar that's mostly the same every once in a great while, but leap years push day, the next year forward a day. Because like February and March, the days are in the exact same day of the week, except for obviously leap year.
Yep. Yeah, and Homer says he has so many memories with all of his TV guides.
Yep.
And he remembers an episode of Homer Pile's like, Pile, Shazam!
Pile!
Shazam! Pile!
Shazam!
I mean, apparently that's what that TV show was.
I don't know. I never watched Gomer Pyle.
I've never watched it either. So, yeah. I mean, I guess that's just what it is. So Marge tells Homer to stop remembering TV and get back to work.
You know, I feel like I've gotten yelled at by our mom before. Where like I'm helping her clean. I'm like, oh, I remember this, and she's like, get back to work.
Yeah, just stop it.
Yeah.
So as Lisa's cleaning her room, we hear the girls' quartet, walking by with Clinton playing with them. And as
they needed a saxophone player.
Yep, they needed a fourth, and we all know President Clinton was a saxophonist.
Yes, he was.
And Mo drives by and tells Clinton to get back to work, and Clinton tells Mo to make him. Now, I don't know if that's just the joke of, presidents go out golfing instead of doing the actual job. So I don't know if that's poking fun at that sort of
okay, but here's the thing. When people get angry that, the president won. Now, granted, if they're doing it, 2/3 of the year, that's one thing. But if they take a vacation, look, they have a very stressful job. You're telling me they're supposed to work 365? No, they're allowed to take a vacation here or there.
Yeah. Well, that's what the government's for, is their backup.
Yes.
And so then we cut back to Homer back in the basement. And obviously now Marge is forcing him to actually clean it. Yeah. And he gets out Mr. Cleanser, which is a reference to the Mr. Clean products.
Yep, because we see a bald guy on there.
Yes. But there's a warning on it. It says, warning, use only in well-ventilated areas.
I love how Homer just looks around. He's like, this seems all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Now, the funny thing about this is we're cleaning off the it's not mold. It's just whatever's grime gets on the ceiling of our bathroom. And Shay one day goes in there with the cleaning products.
Oh, did she lock herself in there?
No, she left the door open, but she's spraying the ceiling, wiping it off, spraying. But I go in there, I'm like, man, that's so fucking strong. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, put on a mask. I mean, it's COVID time. Like, that was the funny thing about it. I'm like, dude, we have masks literally all over our house now, man. You have no excuse not to cover your face.
I think my funniest memory of somebody getting high off of cleaning fumes. So my freshman year in college, I dyed my hair blue, and nobody told me this, but when you dye your hair, when you wash out the dye, you're supposed to lean your head backwards. I leaned my head forwards and got blue everywhere in the shower.
Yep, that makes
sense. It wasn't my shower. I was using one of the girls' showers that I was hanging out with. So one of the girls I was hanging out with, who was kind of like the mom of the group, locked herself in the bathroom with cleaner and got high off the cleaner.
Nice.
It was hilarious.
Yep. And so as Homer is using the cleaning products, he starts hallucinating.
Because he used too much cleaner.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that must be really potent stuff. So Bubble Off and Terrapin Wax are two other products that Homer was using, and the mascots all attack him. And Homer starts screaming, and Marge asks him what's going on. He says, nothing. So Marge tells Homer to stop screaming and get back to work. But then he just sits there and he's like screaming quieter.
Yeah.
Like he's not actually screaming loudly anymore. And so now we come back to the living room where Bart is doing his cleaning. And we see that they have a painting of American Gothic.
And for those of you who don't know what this painting is, it is the farmer and the wife where the guy is holding the pitchfork.
Yes. And so we see the radio, go to a commercial, and not really a commercial, but not music. It's the DJs talking.
Yeah.
And they're talking about a contest for, not like the last episode where it was like the caller. This one, apparently they call you.
Yeah.
I don't know that's ever been a radio.
No, I don't know. Thing. I don't know how that would work.
Like, what? I mean, you could not be home. Well, apparently it took them forever to find someone at home, first of all, and two, actually say the phrase.
Yeah. Well, so I do like this. We see the painting, and Bart starts cleaning over it because he's listening to the radio. And then So then we cut back to Bart, and there's a sign underneath the painting, and it says, "If you can read this, you scrubbed too hard." Sign Grant Wood, who was the painter of American Gothic.
Yeah, you guys.
So that was great.
You probably shouldn't wash a painting.
Well, no, not unless like somebody painted over another painting.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so like I mentioned, the radio contest is where they call you. Yeah. And it seems like it took them all day to find a winner. So the radio station makes a call, and the Simpsons phone rings. So Bart says, "KBBL is going to give me something stupid."
Because that's the phrase that pays.
Yes. And however, the phone call is not them. It is Abe telling Bart that he is having heart palpitations. And Bart tells Grandpa not to tie up the line and hangs up.
Wow.
I mean, shouldn't he be notifying the nurses at the old folks' home and not the Simpsons?
Well, maybe he did notify the nurses, but then he wanted to call the house and be like, "Hey, I'm having heart palpitations. I'm going to the hospital."
Maybe, yeah. And so Bart, Homer, and Lisa are super grimy after cleaning the entire house. I don't know if you've ever cleaned your entire house in one day, like every room. I've done it. Man, is it tiring. It is crazy to do your entire house in one day.
I mean, I've cleaned like my upstairs in one day, and that's just tiring as shit.
Yeah. Try cleaning your entire house. That's why I've been focusing more on during the Thursdays.
Yeah.
It's my day off of work. So I try to clean the whole house on Thursdays, but by doing so on Friday through Wednesday, I try to pick a room and just tidy it up so that way it's less work.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about my house is that I don't really use all of the rooms. So, I mean, I do have 2 roommates, so they take up, 2 rooms that they should be cleaning themselves. But I mean, I don't really use my basement a whole lot. I mean, I have my pop room, but that doesn't necessarily need a lot of cleaning. So, I mean, I don't really use a lot of the space.
Yeah. After they're cleaning, Marge tells them they can do whatever they want now, just as long as they don't mess up the house.
Yep.
And I try to tell my kid that too.
I don't think your 4-year-old's going to listen to you. No. And then I love it. So the 3 of them walk into the kitchen, and they open the door. You see a nice clean kitchen. The door swings back, and the kitchen is a complete mess, and Marge is annoyed.
So apparently they have a swinging door again?
Apparently.
Didn't we talk about this in season
Probably.
1 and 2 about the swinging door?
Yeah.
Apparently the swinging door is back now.
Yeah. So KBBL tries to make another phone call, and this time they call the police. And so we see that Wiggum, Eddie, and what's the other guy? Lou are all stripped to their underwear and bound and gagged. And we see Snake has taken over the police station, and he tases Wiggum. But I love how the fact that Wiggum's like a little bit to the left. Ah, there it is. And this entire time, Bart is listening to it.
Yep.
While eating ice cream.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's entertaining.
It is entertaining.
It's radio, man. It's entertaining.
Oh my God, that's great. And so the KBBL is like, all right, we're going to call one more house. And then they call the Simpsons, and Homer answers his phone. So he's like, hello. And Bart grabs the phone before Homer can,
actually
say,
talk.
Yeah. And he's like, KBBL is going to give me something stupid. I love in the background, Homer, thinks he still has the phone in his hand. He's like, hello? It's like, do you not notice that the phone is no longer in your hand?
Yeah.
And so the radio station's like, all right, you have the choice between $10,000 or our gag gift, which is an African elephant.
What's in the box? I'll take what's in the box.
And so Homer, so Bart decides to take the elephant, and Homer tells Marge that Bart is taking the elephant instead of the money.
Yep.
And so, Bart tells, hey, I want an elephant. And so the radio guys are whispering into the mic about not having the elephant. And they're like, well, no one takes the gag gift. And he's like, you want the money. And Bart's like, no, I want my elephant. And so this whole premise for the rest of the episode of the choice between prizes of either cash and an elephant is identical to another promotion, which the cash was refused, bringing an Asian elephant to Alaska and establishing a zoo.
Oh, I did not know that.
This also reminded me, do you remember back in the I think it was the early 2000s, where Pepsi had that cap contest, and like you just collect the points?
Yep.
Do you remember the commercial where it said you can win an airplane?
Yes, yeah.
And somebody actually collected enough points to get the airplane, and Pepsi was like, no, that wasn't serious. And I think the guy ended up getting like, I think $1 million or something.
Was it on the website?
No, there's the commercial.
Well,
I don't know if it was
like, if it's not physically on the website, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like,
and so
matter if it's not on the
no.
website to actually enter the points and collect.
Yeah,
it shouldn't really count.
Which I think is what Pepsi argued, was like, well, you have to go to the website and
you just can't say
redeem your points.
Yeah.
But like the guy wanted his airplane because he saw it on the commercial, and it's like it's hyperbolic. Like, I mean, so yeah, so this has happened in real life a couple times.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I'm guessing you would probably take the elephant, but
no, I would. Or what? I would take the 10K.
Oh, you take the 10K. I mean, I feel like if you're a radio station doing a gag gift, you really should do something stupid. You should.
Yeah.
You really okay. Like,
you can take $10,000 or a year supply of Monopoly money.
Or Monopoly. Like, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, a gag gift should be something practical.
Yes.
But really stupid. Like, you could get 5 pounds of mayonnaise. Or something realistic, something you could physically get.
Yeah.
But
it's dumb.
Dumb enough that you hopefully wouldn't choose it. But if someone was dumb enough to choose it, at least you could accomplish it.
Yeah. And so, Homer tells Bart to stick it to the man.
Yeah.
And then he's like, wait, money. Hold on, we'll call you back.
Yeah. And I like how Marge is like, oh wait, sorry. Yeah, so Marge suggests they
well, before that, so Homer, tells Bart, with $10,000, we could be millionaires.
Yeah.
That's not how money works, Homer. Unless you invest it. I mean, maybe.
Or go to the casino. The casino that we'll never see ever again.
Yeah. So Homer's like, with that kind of money, we could buy something useful, like love.
Yeah.
Is he talking about buying hookers?
Yes, he is.
Okay. And then this is where Marge suggests, well, we could buy double-plied windows, and it would save us 4% on our heating bills.
Yeah, they look exactly the same, but they save us money on our energy bill.
And like the family just look at her dumb. Honestly, I'm with Marge.
Yeah, spend it on your house, and
like
update it a little bit.
And if it's going to save you money, I mean, are you really losing any money?
No.
I mean, you are, but not as much. So then Lisa, tells the family that they are forgetting the most important thing, and that it is wrong to imprison an animal. So, okay. Now, but here's my problem with that statement. They have a cat and a dog. Now, yes, they're free to roam the house, but in a sense, aren't you still imprisoning them?
Unless your cat's allowed to roam the neighborhood. But I don't know.
That is true.
I don't know if Snowball is. I mean,
no, because every cat they have is murdered.
Yeah. You know how many lost cat notifications I get on my phone?
Yeah. No.
It's ridiculous. I'm like, dude, if you don't want to lose your cat, don't make him an outdoor cat.
Yeah.
Like that.
Make sure they don't get outside. Now, a lot of cats who are indoor cats tend not to go outside.
Oh, my cat loves to go outside. If we leave the door open and Bob goes outside, the cat will try to sneak out.
Oh, but now here's the thing with dogs and cats is they have a really good memory of where they live. Like I read a story where
Do you think Cooper or Charlie would have ever come back?
Well, I mean, you also need to train them well, which we did not do. Well, Cooper would come back. Did he?
No,
I don't really remember. I was like...
He always went to the pond over by our house.
That was Charlie.
Or Charlie.
But if you train a cat or dog well enough, like I've heard stories where like a dog was gone for like 3 years or a cat was gone for 3 years and they found their way back home. I mean, they made a movie on it, Homeward Bound.
No, but that was cross country. That wasn't you lose it and then all of a sudden it shows up back at your house.
I mean, they still found their way home though. Homeward Bound, and it's a great movie, and it's very sad. And I love how, like, so after Lisa tells him about imprisoning animal, Homer's like, Lisa, go to your room.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good parenting.
If you can't give us constructive
criticism,
we don't watch it here.
Yeah. So Homer and Bart go down to the radio station, and the guys are like, well, we don't have an elephant. And they're like, Bart, just take the money. Otherwise, we could get fired. And Bart goes, either way. And they're like,
you don't want to see us fired, do you? Either way.
And so, like, that freaks out the guys.
Yep. And so Bill's like, we think we know how your mind works, Bart. So how about this? We pay your principal $10,000 to pull down his pants and keep him down for the rest of the school year. And Marty's like, and Principal Skinner walks in. Yeah, I'll do it, Bart. No.
So here's my problem with that suggestion. They're giving Skinner the $10,000 that technically Bart won.
Well, but it'd be for something Bart wants.
I guess, but but wouldn't you just rather take the money at that point?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But then Marty's like, okay. What if we use the $10,000 to surgically transform Skinner here into some kind of lobster-like creature? Well, now, wait a minute. That wasn't discussed with me. I don't think Skinner would go along with that one.
No.
But Bart's like, I'm not leaving without my elephant. And then they pick up Homer and Bart and just throw him out of the station.
Literally, they threw him out of the station.
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
literally.
Yep. And Bart starts screaming, "Where's my elephant? Where's my elephant?" And then we cut to the old folks home where they're listening to the radio, and Grandpa's like, "Hey, they're playing that elephant song." Jasper's like, "I love that. Reminds me of elephants."
What's the elephant song? Is that a real thing?
Well, it's funny because the song they were playing on the radio seemed like it was just an instrumental track.
Okay.
It wasn't an actual, song. Which
so it was like
funny.
Yeah.
But then we see a headline: KBBL cheats straight A student.
And there's a picture of Bart.
Do they think Lisa won the elephant?
Well, no. I'm assuming Bart went to the paper and lied to them about being a straight A student.
All right. And so we get another edition of My 2 Cents with Ken Brockman. And he's like, so isn't that what we're all asking in our own lives? Where's my elephant? I know that's what I've been asking. Apparently, Kent wants an elephant too. So yeah, apparently Kent wants his own elephant.
Well, I think when he says, "Where's my elephant?" I think that's just a metaphor.
Oh, you think so? Where's my life elephant?
Exactly.
And so now we see that KBBL's ratings are down, obviously, because no one wants to listen to a radio station where they don't shell out an elephant.
Yeah.
Or the prize that you want. And so they're being swamped with angry calls and letter bombs.
Like literal bombs and letters.
She like pokes the stack and they all explode.
Yeah.
And so she's like, if you don't get find that kid that elephant, I'm replacing you with the DJ 3000. And then so she presses it and it does its little bit like they would do. She's like, and either Bill or Marty's like, oh, that's pretty good. Don't praise the machine. And so we see that KBBL delivered on their prize.
Well, because she was like, either get him that elephant by tomorrow or you're fired.
Yep. Yeah. And so KBBL delivers on their prize, and we see the elephant kind of peering through the window, and that is a direct, reference to the T-Rex peering into the Jeep from Jurassic Park. And that was pretty cool. I mean, the pupil even, dilates, and I mean, that's pretty good. That was a really, really good pull. Yeah. Just because Jurassic Park just came out. I mean, God, it must have been only a few months, maybe 5-6 months before this episode aired. So good work for the writers to put that in. And let's see here. The elephant, he lets out a roar, kind of like the dinosaur, and Snowball and Santa's little helper run away. All right, so Marge and Homer and Lisa, Bart all walk outside, and Marge is like, "Well, this elephant, Homer, it looks like this, like it could gore. It does look like Al Gore." I don't think Homer's ever seen Al Gore.
No.
Although I think we do get an Al Gore. Do we get an Al Gore? Yeah, we end up getting an Al Gore cameo in this in the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, not till later. Not till way later. I think it's the episode where Homer gets like the monogram shirts. Maybe. Because I know Clinton's in that one. I don't know. It's been a while. Been a long time. So Bart asks the elephant to lift him up to be put on his back. And the elephant picks up Bart and puts him in his mouth. Because that's the best place for Bart to be.
Yeah. Well, do I don't think elephants eat people though.
No.
Or like they don't put like animals in their mouths.
Bart looks like a tree.
No, what?
He thought he was food. Right?
No.
Bart doesn't look like food? No.
No.
All right. So Marge says the elephant is obviously a bad idea, and Homer agrees with her. In theory. In theory, communism works. In theory.
Oh, God.
So he was agreeing with Marge to prove a point?
I don't know.
So the elephant walks away and scratches itself on the house and, just destroys the siding. And Bart's like, it thinks it's people.
I don't agree with that line because people don't frickin' rub themselves up on like furniture.
Liar. You know you've gone up to a wall and rubbed your back on it to do an itch that you can't reach.
I've never done that. I usually, if I can't reach an itch, I grab like a spoon or something.
Oh, I rub my back up on things.
What are you, a cat?
Yeah, man. If you can't reach an itch on your back, you got to rub up against something. I mean, it's mostly my back. I mean, everything else I could pretty much reach.
Yeah. So, yeah, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So Homer, puts a chain around the elephant's leg, and the elephant is not happy about this. So it angrily stomps on things in the backyard. There's a bike, doghouse. I forget what the other thing was. And because of the angry stomping of the elephant, Bart decides to call the elephant Stampy.
Yep. I think I'll call you Stampy.
So I don't know if they reused. So they kind of like cut to black and they come back out to the backyard. I don't know if they just reused the shot or they screwed up the animation, but all the things that Stampy stomped on were back to normal. But then they cut back to that scene, like they cut back like a couple like shots later, and it's all destroyed again.
Animation, man.
Yeah. So Stampy, lets out a roar, and because he's hungry, and so Lisa comes out with leafy vegetables to feed it. And as Lisa is trying to tell Stampy to eat slowly because the food has to last, Stampy's like, screw this, and eats all the food. Yep. I mean, elephants are huge, man. They got to eat a lot.
Yeah, did she say this has to last a week or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it has to last a while.
And it's gone.
Yeah. So Homer says maybe they should tie Stampy down so it can't move. So it won't get hungry. And it's like, no, Homer.
Dad,
no.
So she's like, you can't do that, Dad. It's cruel. Oh, everything is cruel according to you. Keeping him chained in the backyard is cruel. Pulling out his tail is cruel. Yelling in his ears is cruel. Everything is cruel. So excuse me if I'm cruel.
And then Stampy picks up Homer and sticks him in his mouth.
Now I've had my head in an elephant, a hippo, and a giant sloth. Now, for those of you that don't know, giant sloths are extinct. They lived during the kind of the prehistoric dinosaur times. So they were a real animal.
So he probably did it at a museum.
Maybe a fake, one of those fake ones. You know what I mean? Like if you go to like a dinosaur museum.
Are you telling me that sloths don't leave bones behind?
No, that's what I'm saying. It was like a model or something. Like Homer tried to do it.
Well, yeah, they found bones. No, I'm not saying a model. I'm saying they actually had the skeleton of a giant sloth, and he for some reason, stuck his head into the skeleton because he thought it would be funny, and he got his head stuck in there.
That sounds like Homer.
Yep. So Homer somehow is able to get Stampy into Moe's.
Well, Moe got a whale in there somehow. Probably used the same door.
Maybe. And so Moe has a deal for free peanuts with beer. So, Stampy is eating the free peanuts. And Moe has like 3 or 4 bags of peanuts, like huge bags. And Moe tells Homer, I think you're taking advantage of my generous offer. And Homer like, shut up.
If I ever get an elephant, I could go to Five Guys up the road. They give you free peanuts with food.
That is true. But you can't just feed an elephant peanuts because as we see, Stampy looks to be in bad shape. And is this another reference to Jurassic Park with the Triceratops being sick?
No. I mean, I don't think so, no.
Okay. So, Stampy doesn't look good because, as Lisa says, you can't just eat peanuts. He needs Lisa's like, he needs plants too.
Yep.
And so Homer's like, plants, eh? And they take Stampy to the Springfield Arboretum, also known as the Tree Place.
If you guys don't know what an arboretum is.
Like, okay, to be fair, I didn't write that. That was in the episode.
Oh, that was the sign. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the sign in the episode.
So we have an arboretum here. Shay makes me go to it every once in a while.
Who wants to look at trees?
I don't want to look at trees.
That reminds me of that 70s show when Donna and Eric went to the Arboretum and like Eric's like, I only took you because you sounded like you wanted to go. And she's like, all I said was like, ooh, look, trees. Who wants to look at trees? And so Stampy eats every single leaf in the Arboretum. And Homer asks, I don't know, the caretaker of the Arboretum, if there are any more Arboretums in the area. And the guy's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me there aren't we don't know where they live, but you can't tell me there's nothing close by.
Well, why couldn't they go to the Springfield National Forest or something?
Yeah. Also, how did they get Stampy to the Arboretum?
Rode it. Duh, it's like a car.
I feel like that would take forever. So then, so a bird lands on Stampy to groom him, but Homer is like, oh, that bird is trying to kill Stampy.
Yeah.
It's a bird. I don't know I didn't look this up. I don't know birds actually groom elephants. Okay.
This is true. Yep.
Okay. And so because I think it was Lisa was like, oh no, the bird's just grooming him.
Yep.
So Homer gets a blue bird to groom him. And so Marge comes in and is like, Homer, there's a bird on your head. He's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And he rubs his head and he goes, elephant fresh. Oh, God. I would not, I think as a human, if I could get a bird to groom me, I still don't think I would do that because I'd be,
man, those beaks
it would
are
probably
sharp.
hurt. Yeah, it would probably hurt. Plus, there's always the chance the bird might poop on you.
Now, a monkey, on the other hand, monkeys would probably be
Monkey
good.
Butler.
Monkey
Give me a Monkey Butler.
Yeah.
So now it's nighttime, and we hear lots of dogs barking.
Since when did the neighborhood have a lot of dogs?
I don't know. Only for this scene, because Stampy lets out a roar, and then all the dogs shut up. Because apparently that's a thing.
Yep.
So, Bart, decides to go sleep in the treehouse to keep Stampy company.
Yep. And so Stampy is nice enough to help Bart in. He tucks him in and then curls his trunk around Bart, obviously because they want to cuddle. And pulls Bart out of the treehouse and sticks him in his mouth. And then Bart sticks his hand out and points to Stampy to put him back in the treehouse.
Yeah.
Thanks, boy.
And he's all covered in elephant slime.
Yep. And so the next day, Lisa comes in. She's like, so, taught Stampy any tricks yet, Bart? Nah, he doesn't want to learn, and I don't want to teach him. We get along fine. I mean, I don't know how you're teaching much elephants any tricks, but
I mean, I think you can teach elephants.
Oh, right, they're in the circus, so you should be able to teach them stuff.
Like you can train anything, Steve.
Okay, I'm gonna give
not
you a
well,
task.
but you can.
I'm gonna give you a task. Next time you see a fly, I need you to train him to kill.
Okay, I'll do it.
Perfect. So then you see Snowball and Santa's little helper come in rolling on balls.
Yeah.
So they're like, dude, remember all these tricks you taught us? which I don't remember them teaching Santa's Little Helper or Snowball.
I think Snowball and Santa's Little Helper taught each other the trick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. They're like,
because
okay.
now they want attention because there's an elephant.
Yeah. So Homer's going over the bills, and Homer's like, well, these bills will have to be paid out of your allowance. And Bart's like, you'll have to raise my allowance to about $1,000 a week. Then that's just what I'll do, smart guy.
Yeah, I do like the fact that as he's going over the bills, we find out, I don't know if Bart bought this or how they got it, but somebody bought an oversized poncho that is meant to fit a giraffe. Yeah. And Bart's like, I can let it out a little bit. I think it'll fit him.
Yeah.
I don't know, because, I mean, because obviously giraffes are tall, but I feel like they don't need
their body build is thin. Yeah.
I don't know.
But
anybody who works at a zoo, let us know if a giraffe poncho would fit an elephant, an African elephant.
Yes. And so some kids come by, they ring the doorbell. Homer opens it up. He's like, hey, can we see the elephant? No. And then he shuts the door.
Well, no, they ask if they can ride the elephant. They're like, we'll even give you money.
Yeah, and Homer slams the door in their face. And then as Homer walks away, he's like, that gives me an idea. And he goes out to the yard and starts pounding in a sign that says, go away. and Bart comes by with a better sign that says, see the elephant, $1. Ride the elephant, $2.
I feel like even for Bart, that's a little on the cheap side.
Yeah, but Homer's like, I don't have time to read it. Just give it to me. and hands it, because he's like, all right, fine, whatever. Yeah. And so we get the kids coming to see Stampy. We see a whole backyard. Yeah. It's kind of like the whole trampoline thing.
Yeah,
we get everyone in the backyard trying to do thing.
But Stampy isn't cursed like the trampoline.
No, well, I mean, maybe not. But the kid, there's a kid that goes up to Stampy who knocks the kid back, and Homer says, "Your kid flew 5 feet. That counts as a ride."
Yeah.
And so then Helen Lovejoy's I don't know why she would be there, but
Helen Lovejoy, have kids. They have a kid.
Oh, that's right. Well, we don't actually see. Well, no, was it? Well, I guess we don't know this, but theoretically, she should have been at that school for girls.
Yes.
But we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
So Helen Lovejoy points out that Stampy is grumpy, and Lisa says, "You would be too if you were taken out of your natural habitat," and and then looked at by a bunch of slack-jawed yokels.
And we get our first appearance of Cletus.
Yep. And so, Lisa's defense, obviously, is that. And then Cletus approaches and says, "Hey, Ma, look at that pointy-haired little girl." Yuck.
We don't actually find out his name is Cletus until, way later on.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just the slack-jawed yokel now.
Yeah.
And so then we see Burns riding on Stampy. He's like, "Smithers, this reminds me of that fat man that I used to ride to work."
Was Homer the fat man?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Did he ride Homer to work?
I don't know. Or was it the fat guy on their couch?
Ooh,
in the couch gag?
Fat guy on the couch. He's bigger than Homer.
Yeah.
And so then we come back to the kitchen, and Marge is still looking at the bills. And Homer comes in, and it's like $58. All of it is profit. And he declares himself the smartest man in the world. But tells Homer that Stampy's food bill was $300. So he only netted about, so he still owes $242.
Yep.
Yeah. And then,
Marge, please don't humiliate me in front of the money.
Yeah. And so Homer goes out and changes the sign, and it reads $100 to see the elephant, $500 to ride the elephant. And everyone leaves because they're like, well, that's outrageous.
To be fair, elephants are very expensive.
They are. I don't think anyone should have an elephant as a pet. Unless you're a zoo.
Yeah. To be fair, the original price should have been $20 to see the elephant, $40 to ride it.
Yep.
And you also have to sign a waiver of liability.
Yeah, well, it's Homer. And plus, if they did anything, it would have been Lionel Hutz writing up the legal contract. And so either way, they wouldn't.
But to be fair, Lionel Hutz has never lost a case.
Yep. So Homer goes over to the Van Houtens to try and get more money out of them. He's like, "Well, Milhouse saw the elephant once and rode it twice. So you owe us, $500 some.
What? And
get out.
what's the father's name? Kirk.
Kirk, yeah.
Yeah. Kurt's like, get out of my house.
Yeah.
And so Homer, comes back and he's like, well, I guess we'll have to sell Stampy. And I love how he's interrupted by the cat and dog playing Mary Had a Little Lamb on a tiny piano.
Yeah.
So Homer, puts up a for sale sign and a guy comes by to look at Stampy. And he's like, well, I need a large African elephant today. But no, I don't want this one. And Homer's like, well, Stampy's an elephant. And he's like, well, yes, but no. How? What? Are you trying to buy the elephant or not? Like, I guess if you're trying to knock down the price.
He's trying to play coy with him. He's like, well, I don't really want this elephant. But the funny thing is, I don't think we ever know how much Homer was trying to sell the elephant for.
No, we never find out. And so then another guy comes by, and he's from the wildlife refuge.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, Stampy will be free to roam and have, really nice life. And Homer is like, I only have 2 questions. How much? And give it to me.
Yeah, that's not a question. That second one's not really a question.
No, it is not. But the guy is like, well, we can't give you any money because the refuge is a nonprofit. And Homer is like,
zero.
So then an ivory dealer comes to check out Stampy. And Lisa points out his boots, his hat, and even that check are made of ivory.
He's like, Dad, I think that he's an ivory dealer. His boots are ivory, his hat is ivory, and I'm pretty sure that check is ivory. Lisa, a guy who has lots of ivory is less likely to hurt Stampy than a guy whose ivory supplies are low.
I mean, technically, he's probably not wrong, but he's also not right.
No, that's how he makes his money. He might keep some ivory, but that's how he makes his money.
Yeah. So, and then I love how, like, while this is going on, Santa's little helper and Snowball come up behind and they're walking on their hind legs, and Santa's little helper yelps out, I love you.
Yeah, like really slow. Oh, I love you.
And we learn the ivory dealer's name is Mr. Blackheart.
Yep.
He's like, I've had many jobs.
Yeah.
Whale hunter, sea clubber, president of the Fox Network.
And most people, yeah, I've dealt a little ivory.
I don't think most people have dealt with ivory.
Yeah.
And so, Bart tells Homer he doesn't want Homer to sell Stampy. And Homer's like, not to worry. I'll buy you a new elephant. And Mr. Blackheart's like, I'll take that one too. And Homer's like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh God. And so, Blackheart is like, okay, I'll be back in the morning for Stampy. And Homer's like, here are the keys. And
Elephants
he's like, don't have keys.
Well, I'll just keep them then.
Where are those keys from?
Unless Homer thought they were the keys to like his leg, like clamp
chain
thing.
Yeah. But that doesn't seem like he was locked up.
No.
Like it does seem like they stuck like a metal rod in it to keep it from. So then, Bart decides to run away with Stampy.
He's like, don't worry, Stampy. I won't let Homer sell you to that ivory dealer. You and I are going to run away together. We'll keep to the back roads and make our way to the south. Then, if I know my geography, it's just 12 miles to Africa.
Bart does not know his geography.
Nope.
Did he mean South America?
Maybe.
Or Mexico?
Yeah. No, I think you might be onto something. I think he might have been thinking of South America.
Yeah. But Stampy knocks Bart aside and runs off by himself.
Yep. And so as it's really weird. Like we see him stamping through like all the backyards. But then I think it goes to commercial, right? After he
stomps away.
Yeah, it goes to commercial. So then we cut back and then we see Stampy going through Flanders' backyard. Yeah. But would that have been the first backyard that he would have went through? And so Flanders wakes up. Ooh, he's like, that's one of the 4 elephants of the apocalypse. And Maude's like, that's Horseman, Nettie. Oh, well, we're getting closer.
We are.
I feel like that's something Ned should have known.
It is something he should have known. Well, I mean, he was sleepy and maybe he was in a dream.
Maybe. And so Lisa wakes up Homer and Marge to tell them that Bart and Stampy are gone.
Yeah.
And Lisa tells them that they ran away because of the ivory dealer, and Homer thinks Blackheart took both Stampy and Bart.
But he didn't take, like Lisa literally said they ran away.
Yeah.
Damn you, Blackheart.
Yep. And so the Simpsons drive through town, and Homer says, this will be a piece of cake. To find Stampy, we'll just follow the path of destruction. And they get to an intersection, there's a tornado going. Must be that tornado Homer made with the leaf blower.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Same
maybe
tornado. It just escaped the house and hung around. So Homer calls the tornado stupid, but then starts laughing because Patty and Selma are in the tornado. Now, this is a Wizard of Oz. I felt like it was a Wizard of Oz
it
reference.
is. It's not.
Now, if there was the witch music,
yes,
it would have been.
I don't think this is a Wizard of Oz reference. I do like how Selma and Patty's like, ooh, I can feel it up my skirt.
Yeah.
Me too.
So we see two guys carrying a piece of giant glass, to avoid Stampy, and Bart only throw it into the recycling bin.
Yeah, so like Stampy comes by and the recycling guys are like, oh God, and they like avoid Stampy, and then Bart comes by in a skateboard and they're like, oh God, and then they just throw it in the recycling, because like, I mean, that's the joke, like you always see it in movies where like two guys are holding a piece of glass and somebody runs through it.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's great.
So there's a bunch of people in town calling the police station to complain about Stampy because he's destroying the town.
Yeah.
And so the inside joke regarding the inspiration for Chief Wiggum, in the scene where the police department is getting swamped with 911 calls, is related to when he receives 911 call dispatch about a liquor store robbery that resulted in an officer being shot. So Wiggum sarcastically dismisses the caller by saying, "Yeah, sure. And I'm Edward G. Robinson." Now, isn't this the second Edward G. Robinson, like...
I don't know, but Edward G. Robinson...
this is last episode when Wiggum was like, high as a kite.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
everybody. And he's like, and that's the same as Edward G. Robinson in that episode, too.
Yeah, so this is Edward G. Robinson, or rather, a bad vocal impression of him, acted as the inspiration for Hank Azaria's Chief Wiggum's voice.
Oh. So
that is why they did two Edward G. Robinson references with Chief Wiggum.
That's kind of funny. I did not realize that. That's I guess call out your voice actors, I guess.
Yeah.
So now we see Stampy going to the Republican convention, where a sign outside says...
No, they're inside the convention.
Oh, they're inside. That's right, because he's stamping through it. He's like, we want what's worse for everyone, and we're just plain evil.
Yeah, but I love the difference between the Republican convention and the Democrat convention, because at the Republican convention you hear all cheering, but at the Democratic one it's all booing, because as everybody should know, the elephant is the symbol for the Republican Party.
And but when Stampy goes through the Democratic convention, we have a sign that says, "We hate life and ourselves, and we can't govern."
God, I hate it. I hate how accurate all the signs are.
Yep. Yeah. That's funny. So then Stampy goes to the peanut factory, because that's obviously the logical place for an elephant to run off to.
I love, so like the scientist, like the head guy there, sees Stampy coming. He's like, "You all made fun of me for doing these two."
This.
Yeah, we've planned for this. You all made fun of me, and now it's here. But we never hear what the plan is, because Stampy breaks open the doors and like tramples the guy. Oh God, that's great. I loved it. So, so now Bart is out looking for Stampy, and he hears like an elephant roar, but it's just a mammoth model coming from the Springfield tar pits, and the quote is, "The best in tar entertainment."
Time magazine.
And this is obviously a reference to the La Brea tar pits, which I was unfortunately not able to go to. I really actually wanted to go when I was in California, but I didn't make it. So, Bart sees that it's the tar pits, and he's like, "Oh, Stampy's gone forever." But then Stampy shows up.
Yeah.
And so I think this might be my favorite part of the entire episode, or one of them. So Homer somehow manages to find Bart and Lisa, and he drives the car into the the tar pit area, and it hits a statue of a deer, and he goes, "Doe," and Lisa goes, "A deer," and Marge goes, "A female deer," which is a reference to the song Do Re Mi from the 1965 movie The Sound of Music.
That was good.
And
that was good.
That was a good one. I use that reference a little bit, like, you know, because I live in Wisconsin. There's a lot of deer around.
Yeah.
And so Homer thanks Bart for leading them back to the ivory.
Yeah.
Which and his elephant, which is somehow connected to. Yeah. Bart wants Stampy to go to the animal refuge.
Yep.
And Lisa asks Homer, would he like to be killed and have his teeth used on a piano? And do you have the quote for this?
No, I don't.
Okay. And Homer says, "Oh, that would be fine, because who doesn't want to be part of the music scene?" Yeah. And while this is going on, somehow Homer manages to step into a tar pit. It didn't seem like they were in the tar pit.
No.
Because it all seemed like they were in a row. But he managed to get into the tar pit. And Marge tells Bart to get a rope.
Yeah.
And Homer's like, "Now I can get myself out." Oh, is this the quote?
Yeah, this is the quote. So it's like, Marge's like, "Get a rope, Bart." And Homer's like, Now that's okay. I'm pretty sure I could struggle my way out. First, I'll just reach in and pull my legs out." And then he reaches under the tar and his arms become stuck. "And now I'll pull my arms out with my face." And then he puts his head under the tar.
And now he's gone.
Yeah.
And so Bart yells to Stampy to pull Homer out. And Stampy pulls somebody out of the tar pit, but it ain't Homer.
Nope.
It's Barney. And he's like, "Thanks, Stampy." And then he walks away and he starts to, he has a cigarette in his mouth and he lights himself on fire.
Yes. Don't light a cigarette if you've ever been in a tar pit.
Yes. And so, eventually Stampy is able to save Homer. And Homer thanks Stampy. He's like, "Thanks to this feisty feline." And Lisa's like, "Homer, a feline means cat." And no, Lisa, Stampy's an elephant.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And so Homer's like, "Stampy will make a grand piano."
Yeah.
And the kids are like, "No." And Homer's like, "It would be," and Homer's like, "Well, I guess it would be wrong to sell Stampy after he saved my life." And he seems to have some kind of relationship with Stampy. Yeah. Some kind of relationship. And so Homer, finally decides to give Stampy away to the animal refuge, and Bart and Lisa go to give Homer a hug, but because he's covered in tar, they get stuck to him. Yeah. Marge is like, "Man, the same thing happened at the caramel factory."
Yep. Did Homer go diving into the caramel pit?
Probably. It's Homer.
Caramel.
Now, do you say caramel or caramel?
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 Caramel? Caramel? Yeah.
Because that's a big sticking point with people.
No pun intended.
Oh, all the pun intended.
Oh, okay. And so now we cut to the Springfield Animal Rescue. Man, we've opened up Springfield's world really big this episode. I mean, we got the Springfield Tar Pits, the Animal Rescue,
the
Arboretum. God, there's just all these new places showing up in Springfield
that we'll never see again.
You're right. Yes. And so Stampy grabs Bart to say goodbye, and he thinks Stampy's just going to shove him in his mouth again, but Stampy puts Bart on his back and then runs into the refuge.
Yeah.
And so, they're thinking, oh, he's going to be happy with all the animals or all the other elephants. And so Stampy starts, attacking all the other elephants, kind of butting his head, knocking him over. And the rescue guy, explains some animals have had, hard life, people, mistreating them, or some of them are just jerks. And then we cut to Homer headbutting the rescue guy.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Now, here's the thing. Now, it also could possibly be, yes, maybe Stampy is a jerk, but, there are some animals that attack other animals to establish dominance.
Yeah.
That's kind of what my mind went to when I saw this scene play out. But then he's like, "Oh, animals are just jerks."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoy this episode. It's a really good episode. It kind of leans into that trope of the episode started out one way and ends like completely different. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, the house is a mess, and then that somehow leads to Bart, getting a phone call from a contest that gets him an elephant. It's one of those episodes to me anyways, but I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is an episode I would necessarily seek out to watch. Like if it's on, like if I happen upon it, I'll sit and watch it. But I don't think I'm going to actively seek it out. And it's funny. There's some good stuff in here. There's some good references, but I'm going to go 4 sprinkles. I don't think it reaches that 5 for me.
No, I'm even lower than you.
What?
Yeah, I mean, as I was watching this episode again, I'm like, I mean, Bart Gets like it just didn't hit me. Like I'm going with a 3. Don't have a cow man.
I'm gonna have a cow man.
Is that number 3? Okay, we haven't done this in a 3 in so long.
Well, it's Doe. Eat my shorts. Yeah, don't have a cow man.
Yeah, I mean I was thinking about it when I was watching, so I'm like, another radio contest. Okay, been done. Literally 1 episode ago. The cleaning thing was like, okay, they're dirty. We get it.
Yeah.
Like, just nothing. I mean, yes, I think the elephant stuff is kind of funny. The only thing that really kept me from making this even lower was I love the pets. Like the pets doing like the tricks behind them is like, them being basically completely ignored because really this whole season, we don't see Santa's little helper or Snowball. It's like they're non-existent. So the fact that they brought them back and actually utilized them in that manner, I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
But just overall, I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad episode. I think I would still watch it if it's on, but it's just not a great episode. Like, it doesn't get me to where, I could give it a 4 or 5. Like, the jokes just, some of them just don't seem to land. The whole political thing's kind of funny, but I'm like, okay, elephant, Republican, okay, I get it. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go 3, don't have a cow man. I'm just not feeling the love for this episode like I am. Like you are, I guess. So let's close it out with our character profile. This week we got Stampy.
Woo!
His identity is a full-grown elephant won by Bart on the Bill and Marty show on the KBBL radio station. So, yeah. I mean, I guess we don't learn much else about him besides that.
Okay.
His smell, like an elephant.
I would hope so.
I would hope so. Smells bad. If you guys have never smelled an elephant, they're pretty bad.
Yep.
He thinks he's people,
Yeah.
which you think is a disagreement.
Yep.
He hates being chained up in the backyard.
I mean, who wouldn't hate that?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. He craves other elephant company, which
Well, that makes sense.
yeah, I mean, he just wants other elephants around to beat up.
Yeah.
He eats lots.
Yeah. Big
he's
animal.
An elephant. And his daily food bill is $300.
That's a lot of money.
I
don't think I even spend that much in like a month.
Daily 300. Well, I mean, could trees really cost that much?
I mean, if you're buying lettuce and shit.
Maybe. Yeah.
And leafy vegetables.
Yeah, I guess
that adds up.
Those could get kind of pricey.
Yeah. Or you just take them to the Arboretum.
Or just take them to the Arboretum if you got one in your city.
Yes.
Or just take them to a forest, man.
Yeah.
Unless you live in Montana. Well, no, Montana's got pretty good forest coverage, at least in Yellowstone area.
Yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin, the Midwest is pretty good for tree coverage.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nebraska, not so much. That's just a barren
That's
wasteland.
corn.
Yep.
Yeah, this is corn.
The South.
Where are peanuts usually grown? Is there like a state that's just known for growing peanuts?
The peanut state.
Find a state that grows a shit ton of peanuts.
Yeah, but elephants can't just eat peanuts. They need leafy greens.
Yes.
So let's close it out with where you can find us. Head over to Facebook, The Simpsons Did It Podcast. Like us on there and follow us and listen to our podcast if you have your Facebook open. On Instagram, The Simpsons Did It Pod. Twitter, Simpsons Did It PC. And if you'd like to donate to our podcast, head over to buymeacoffee.com/Simpsons Did It and give us a few bucks here and there. We'll send you some stickers, and all your money will go towards building our podcast. And as we run up on 100, hopefully we can get something special going for you guys.
Yep.
Be sure to check out our YouTube page, our channel, as you were. Just type in The Simpsons Did It Podcast. Please subscribe so that way we can hit our numbers and get our own URL. It's very, very helpful. And lastly, give us a call, 612-584-09 888-866 and leave us a voicemail. We'd like to know your thoughts and input on our podcast. And if you leave a very good and friendly voicemail, you might be able to hear yourself on our episodes. So until next time, I'm Steven Skolansky.
I'm Robert Skolansky.
And this has been The Simpsons Did It.
Shh.